Konoha is facing the battlefield. Although it is a frontal battlefield, it is actually a plain less than 10,000 meters away from Konoha village. Just passing through the dense forest around Konoha. This is a small gobi. Konoha's ninja troops are gathered from all over the land of fire. The Konoha shinobi led by Tsunade are afraid of Danzo because Tsunade takes into account other ninja villages. So there are some ninjas who are always guarding the border of the country of fire. However, Danzo has no scruples and frantically summons all ninjas that can be summoned. In the name of Hokage and the support of the daimyo, basically half of Konoha's ninjas were summoned. A ninja army of nearly 30,000 people gathered together. This is a force that can easily wipe out a country. Tsunade would naturally be afraid, but what was afraid was not the 30,000 people, but the war that was about to break out. Now Konoha's camp is also set up, and Yuju has designed the plan in advance. Every aspect of the Konoha village camp is perfect. Compared with Danzo on the other side of the Gobi, the slightly disorganized camp. There is a world of difference between the two. Although Danzo has a lot of ninjas, there are not a few ninjas with strong roots. But the talent in the strategic vision is completely inferior to Tsunade. Plus Danzo values strength, not brains. So most of his men are guys with no brains, even ninjas like Sai who are good at calmly analyzing the situation. It is useless for a war of this scale. Can only rely on Danzo himself. The confrontation between the two sides was imminent, and the nearly 10,000 ninjas led by Tsunade were absolutely at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. But according to Lu Ju's plan, he occupied a favorable position in advance. Whether it is an active attack or a passive defense, it is very beneficial every day. And with Kakashi and the restored Asuma support, if everything goes well, it is only a matter of time before the so-called Yanyan ninja troop is defeated. In addition, there are also a group of Konoha elite Jonin, ninjas from the Yin family, Aburame, Yamanaka, Nara, Akamichi, and Sarutobi clan. Mitarashi Anko, Kuroyuki and more. The only problem is only two. How to quell the war as quickly as possible while reducing casualties as much as possible, and restore Konoha's vitality. The next most difficult to solve should be Danzo. After all, this guy is a disciple of Master Second Hokage like Sarutobi Hiruzen. For so many years, he has been operating the root organization underground in Konoha, and his strength is definitely not weak. Conservative estimates also definitely have Kage-level strength. So beating Danzo is the second piece of the puzzle. Hokage's tent. Tsunade looked at the battle map hanging on the wall, while behind him Kakashi and other ninjas were discussing. As expected of Konoha's think tank, everything is exactly as Lu Ju imagined. Kakashi smiled. No wonder I asked him to come along with him, but he said it was not necessary, and Konoha village still needs someone to guard it. Asuma also nodded. Danzo's Yanyan ninja troops look very strong, but the layout is completely chaotic. Once the battle begins, the command system of these ninja troops will be disrupted by us in an instant. A plate of scattered sand, no matter how many people there are, it is of no use. Danzo's subordinates lack the prestigious Jonin. These ninja troops gathered from all over Konoha in the name of Hokage cannot be commanded by just sending someone casually. Red pointed to the root of Danzo's problem. Then we will officially attack tomorrow, and there is no need for a sudden attack. We just want to let Danzo's ninja troops know when it is time to attack. It's a way to put pressure on them. Imagine the so-called ninja army. A considerable part of the ninjas are devoted to us. This way of exerting pressure can also avoid casualties to the greatest extent. Everyone understands what Kakashi thinks. This is to force as many ninjas as possible to Konoha before the war begins. I agree. Asuma also thinks this method is good. Red and Mitarashi Anko also nodded, and Akamichi Choza, Yamanaka Heiichi, Aburame clan, and Inazuka clan all agreed. Tsunade didn't look back, but turned his back to everyone. Since everyone agrees, then follow this method. Okay. Go down and get ready. I'll be alone for a while, don't bother me if it's not urgent. Others thought it was a bit strange but didn't ask any more questions. The adults are Hokage. The order cannot be questioned. After retreating one after another, Shizune stood at the door of the tent and watched Tsunade's back. Others don't know, but she knows Tsunade very well. Now Master Tsunade seems to be frightened again. Master Tsunade. Are you alright? Tsunade waved his hand. I'm fine. I just. Tsunade doesn't have to hold on anymore without anyone else. Slowly squatting down, hugging her legs, her body trembling uncontrollably. This is. The battlefield. Shizune, soon. There will be dead bodies everywhere. I can't help but think of the broken. In the way Nawaki died in front of me. I. But I'm Hokage, I can't escape. Shizune, I don't know what I should do. At this time Shizune has come behind Tsunade. Seeing Tsunade so terrified, Shizune was very worried, but he didn't know how to comfort Tsunade. Can only silently accompany Tsunade. By the way, Shizune, how is the situation on the battlefield behind Konoha? Why are you asking this all of a sudden? Now Tsunade is very eager to see Sasuke. I don't know why Tsunade has an inexplicable expectation. As long as Sasuke is here, she doesn't seem to be afraid anymore. The latest information is that the ninja troops in the rear have been wiped out by Konoha Genin's assassination troops. I didn't expect Mr. Lu Ju's sons to be so strong. Although they are just ninjas from some small countries, they were able to destroy them all. It's amazing. Tsunade's eyes lit up when he heard the news. Great, so Sasuke will be coming soon. But what Tsunade doesn't know is that Sasuke is depressed now. The defense of this camp is too strong. It's too difficult to sneak in. Forget it. Just walk in directly. The helpless Sasuke appeared directly, coming from behind Konoha. Sasuke, wearing Anbu's clothes, as quickly stopped. Are you from Anbu? Do you have proof? How could Sasuke have such a thing? I have special news that needs to be given to Hokage-sama. Please inform Hokage-sama, and say, Senju, Hokage-sama will understand. The other party looked Sasuke up and down. Although a little skeptical, this is at the gate of the Konoha camp. The other party is another person. If it is an enemy, it would not be so stupid to come here to say these words. After thinking about it, the other party nodded. Wait. Said another person ran towards the camp. The figure quickly disappeared. Although it is only a camp, there are nearly 10,000 ninjas, which is quite a lot. The area of the camp is still very large, and it took Moyo a few minutes to wait. Soon Shizune's figure appeared. Go to the back door of the camp and look at Sasuke with the mask on. Shizune nodded. It's him, come in with me. Said Sasuke followed Shizune and walked in. Entering the camp and watching the busy ninjas, Sasuke felt a different atmosphere. Atmosphere of war. Even the air was filled with tension. This feeling made Sasuke feel more and more restless, and even had the urge to rush out now because of the battlefield. All the way to Tsunade's camp. Shizune opened the curtain and Sasuke walked in. As soon as he entered, Sasuke's eyes were dark. Tsunade hugged Sasuke, who came in with lightning speed. Even Shizune behind him was dumbfounded at this moment. What is the situation? Why did Master Tsunade suddenly? Woo. Sasuke wanted to break free, but Tsunade's strength was amazing, and Sasuke had no room to resist at all. Tsunade let Sasuke go after realizing that Sasuke was having trouble breathing. Some blushed and glanced at Shizune behind, whose eyes were bigger than copper bells. Tsunade suddenly became a little strange. That. Shizune. Just now. This. Sasuke looked at Tsunade. Now Sasuke's heart is very shocked, with his current strength. He was almost killed by Tsunade, too fast. He didn't react to that speed at all, and that power made him powerless to resist. Sasuke. Sure enough. Am I still too weak? Master Tsunade. I didn't see anything just now. You go ahead. Saying that, Shizune closed the curtain, showing a surprised expression. Master Tsunade. Do you like little boy? An old cow eats young grass. Damn Master Tsunade. Not even speaking. Teach me. Inside the tent, Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief. Back to a little bit of normal. He turned his head and looked at Sasuke with some embarrassment, but Sasuke looked at her with very jealous eyes. Suddenly Tsunade was a little confused. Does Sasuke hate himself that much? What's going on with Danzo now? Sasuke got straight to the point. Hearing this, Tsunade also felt as if he had returned to normal, and the fear in his heart disappeared without a trace. Maybe it was the hug just now, or maybe seeing Sasuke made her no longer afraid or something. Tsunade finally became a lot more normal. Danzo is naturally in his Yanyan village, which is not far from Yanyan village, only a few kilometers away. The distance of a few thousand meters is indeed not far, so if you say that, you can do it tonight. Directly attack Danzo's village and kill Danzo? Then I'll do it tonight. Hearing this, Tsunade quickly said, no. Don't want. Sasuke froze for a moment. Why didn't Tsunade want to kill Danzo? You must know that if you don't kill Danzo, even if Tsunade becomes Hokage in the future, there will be endless troubles. Could it be that she really wants to ask for trouble? I mean, it's too dangerous for you to go now. Too dangerous? Sasuke doesn't understand even more. Does this count as worrying about his own safety? Seeing Sasuke's changing expression, Tsunade knew that the more he said, the more wrong he was. You do it tonight. The success rate is not high. There are still many ninjas in Danzo's village, which will hinder you. Okay. 2. This Sasuke does not deny, although Sasuke is very confident in his own strength now, killing Danzo, especially when he knows Danzo's ability. Sasuke thinks it's a safe bet, but if there are too many annoying bugs around, it does have a big impact. Then what do you think is the best time for me to do it? Hearing this, Tsunade thought for a while and quickly looked at the battle map. Wait a minute. Tomorrow we will formally start a war with Danzo, and when the ninja troops under Danzo are defeated, Danzo will definitely find a way to escape. I'm going to send someone after me and give you a one-on-one with Danzo so you can fight Danzo without any interruptions. This approach is indeed very good. And with a little more time, Sasuke feels that he can also do more preparations. It would be good to increase Mangekyo's pupil power a little bit, or strengthen Woodstyle's power a little bit. That old bastard Danzo has the ability to bug Izanagi. Doing more preparations can also be just in case. Okay. Then I will wait for a while. Sasuke agreed, and Tsunade was relieved. Then I'm leaving. When you arrange to notify me, I will wait near the camp. Seeing that Sasuke was about to leave again, Tsunade became a little anxious. You can be in camp. Kakashi is also here. I am confident that I will deceive others, but if Kakashi notices me, just. It's okay, you stay in my tent. When Kakashi comes, I'll let him go. Forehead. Although Tsunade's method is indeed very good, Sasuke always feels something is wrong. Something is wrong. Tsunade seems to have a big change in his attitude towards himself. This change made Sasuke confused for a while. Did this woman take the wrong medicine? If you don't object, then stay tonight. It doesn't matter if you stay. Tsunade's camp is quite spacious, and Sasuke can also find a place to practice Sharingan. Try to increase your pupil power. No good, but when Sasuke was looking for a place, Tsunade had already grabbed Sasuke's shoulder. I have just received information about the rear, and you have rushed here. You must be very tired. Just rest here tonight. No. Otherwise. How are you going to deal with Danzo? Under Sasuke's frightened eyes, Tsunade covered Sasuke with a quilt. How could this violent woman have such a gentle side? Could this guy be trying to gouge his own eyes while he was sleeping? Or just kill yourself? Sasuke broke out in a cold sweat. The cooperation that was discussed before is not counted now? The next second the lights went out. Sasuke felt someone hug him suddenly. At this moment Sasuke originally wanted to resist, but felt the trembling body. She seemed very scared. Sasuke seemed to understand a little bit. Tsunade wants someone to accompany her because of fear, so it is. Tsunade, who has nothing to say all night, with Sasuke by his side. Waking up early in the morning is like a different person. Master Hokage of Haki is back. When Kakashi and others entered the tent and asked Tsunade if he started to fight, Tsunade waved his hand directly. He slapped heavily on the combat sand table in front of him. All Konoha shinobi fighters attack me, and according to the previously specified plan, destroy Danzo's hidden fire village as soon as possible. The Kingdom of Fire only needs a Konoha, no Yanyan mansion. Heard Tsunade Haki speak, though not a new order. But all Konoha elite Jonin suddenly felt confident. This is the influence of Hokage. Even if it's just giving orders, different tones and demeanors will have a huge impact on the ninjas. Even if it's just a change in momentum, it can make the ninjas explode with different fighting power. Yes. A tidy answer sounded. Kakashi and others are all dispatched, and they want to end this civil war that should not have erupted at the fastest speed and with the least casualties. Do everything possible to minimize the loss of Konoha. Let Konoha recover as quickly as possible after the war. So the first move is the momentum of thunder. At the same time, the oppression of the countdown to the start of the war did cause many ninjas who were originally under Danzo to defect. And the repercussions of this kind of defection are great. Originally, the situation of Danzo was not very good, and these ninja troops became even more scattered. Danzo's face in Yanyan village was very ugly. Konoha's ninja troops, obviously much smaller than him, launched an attack on their own initiative. And led by a group of elite jonin from Konoha, they are as powerful as a bamboo. His defensive line is like paper, and it will shatter when touched. There are even quite a few ninjas who surrendered directly without even resisting. It's exactly like waiting for Konoha's ninja to come and take over the position. It was at this moment that Danzo really understood that he, who seemed to be so powerful, was so vulnerable. These Konoha ninjas are all trash, they were raised as trash by Hiruzen. Damn Tsunade. This woman. A woman as Hokage, these idiots accept that. Why should a woman lead Konoha? After venting, a fierce look flashed in Danzo's eyes. Very good. Tsunade, please remember, I won't make it easy for you. Danzo looked at his subordinates. Have all the elite gathered? Yes, Danzo Day. But in this case, the elite will be concentrated, and the situation in various battlefields will become more difficult, and the time to be broken through will also. Danzo sneered. Anyway, it will be breached sooner or later. Yanyan village can't stand it anymore, but I won't just let it go. Konoha's elite jonins have all appeared, but Tsunade hasn't shown up yet, presumably he hasn't left the camp. Let the 500 elites dispatch all to me, and do everything possible to assassinate Tsunade. Without Tsunade, these people will become a mess. This is my last chance. If he failed, he would have to hide underground again like a mouse. Then try to accumulate strength secretly, but it will be too difficult to overthrow Konoha of Tsunade that way. Besides, Danzo doesn't want to wait another 10 years. Let's go. Leaf Camp. Tsunade received information from the front line one after another. Good news came one after another, making Tsunade even happier. With Sasuke here, she doesn't seem to be so afraid of war. The good news made Tsunade feel very happy now. And Sasuke, who was practicing Sharingan in the tent, also shook his head helplessly. This woman looks different every day. Sure enough, women are fickle. Close your eyes and continue practicing Sharingan. The voices on the distant battlefield became farther and farther away. This also means that Danzo is losing more and more quickly. It seemed like he couldn't hold on for even one day, but somehow he had 30,000 ninja troops in his hands, and he would be defeated like this. Even Sasuke felt sorry for him. It's too miserable. But a large part of the reason for this is because the target of the war itself is Konoha's ninja. Otherwise, it would not have lost so quickly like this. Even 30,000 steamed buns are enough for Tsunade and others to eat for a few days. The sun is slowly setting, half of the sky was dyed golden yellow. However, in the golden light, there is a bloody light hidden. Even in such a disastrous war, there will still be a lot of bloodshed. And the blood of the Konoha shinobi was shed. War is war. There are not many Konoha shinobi in the camp, only about 100 people, and all the ninjas have been sent out to fight. But now there is no need for any defense, offense is a good defense. But what Tsunade didn't expect was that Danzo would fight so frantically. Enemy attack. Attack. Bang bang bang. Accompanied by the crisp crashing sound, a group of ninjas wearing root costumes suddenly appeared from around the camp. In almost one meeting, the dozens of Konoha guards guarding the camp were all eliminated. Blood filled the air. Tsunade froze as he smelled the blood. Suddenly, at the door of the tent, a wounded Konoha shinobi climbed in. Lord Hokage. Enemy. Enemy. Surprise attack. After speaking, he passed out directly. And Tsunade looked at the blood on the opponent's body and listened to the sound of fighting outside. The fear of war struck again. Tsunade felt that his body could not move, and at the same time, his whole body seemed to be frozen. Master Tsunade. You. Go. I'll stop them. Shizune knew about Tsunade's situation, and was going to hold off the enemy and let Tsunade leave first. However, the current Tsunade can't move at all. Sasuke came out from behind and looked at Tsunade, who was sitting in the tent trembling slightly. Coming to Tsunade's side, Sasuke raised his hand and patted Tsunade's shoulder. Tsunade looked back at Sasuke in panic. Tears fell from the corners of her eyes. Obviously she wasn't crying, but Tsunade's tears just couldn't stop flowing out. Don't worry. Leave it to me. It will be over soon, no one can hurt you. Tsunade stared blankly at Sasuke. Sasuke, who was wearing a mask, walked towards the door of the tent, lifted the curtain and looked outside. Only less than 10 Konoha shinobi left leaned towards the tent and guarded it. On the opposite side are densely packed root ninjas. Every root ninja looks good. Elite. Danzo is putting all his eggs in one basket, and he really made the right bet. But now with me, it's different. Just before the official fight with Danzo, warm up. Guard Hokage defeat all raid root ninjas. Reward. Therefore, you have mastered fire style ninjutsu and upgraded to ultimate. When Sasuke was about to go out, he suddenly saw a prompt popped up by the system. The corners of Sasuke's mouth turned up slightly. Good. Another system task. Guard Hokage. Although Sasuke was not satisfied with the name of this task, Sasuke was very happy with the reward. All fire style ninjutsu mastered up to ultimate level. This is very exciting. Ultimate level ninjutsu is simply a qualitative change. The current level of lightning style discharge is ultimate, and Sasuke is still amazed after being promoted to the ultimate level. The power of lightning style discharge has increased too much. Although the consumption of chakra has also increased a lot at the same time, the increase in power is the most important thing. Slowly walk out of the tent. At this time, Shizune, who was taking part in the ninja, heard the voice behind him. She looked back and found that it was Sasuke, and she was stunned for a moment. This brat. How? Is he still here? Has he not gone all this time? Regardless of why Sasuke is still here, Shizune is speechless right now. Take Master Tsunade and go. I'll stop these people. Originally Shizune thought that after he said it, Sasuke would do it, but the next second Sasuke still walked straight towards him. And without stopping at all, he passed her and came to the front of everyone. At this moment, Sasuke glanced back at Shizune lightly. A simple look in his eyes immediately made Shizune a little afraid to speak. This brat. You have such oppressive eyes. Who is this brat anyway? Protect Hokage, just leave these people to me. A word without any waves, it is obvious that Sasuke is just a kid. It should be only Genin, and all the people present are above Chunin, but at this time, it seems that people dare not resist at all. He could only nod subconsciously. Even Shizune didn't know why he didn't dare to contradict the brat's order. Who is he? He is not qualified to order himself at all. But the following picture directly shocked Shizune and the rest of the dozen or so Konoha shinobi practitioners. Sasuke held the grass pheasant sword behind him with his backhand. The moment the knife was pulled out, the sound of the knife rubbing against the knife sounded. At the same time, the tearing sound also appeared immediately after. Blood spattered. Sasuke turned around in a blink of an eye and came directly behind the nearest root ninja 10 meters away. The blade cut across his neck at some point. Plop. He fell to the ground and lost his breath. The root ninjas who hadn't made any sound before, couldn't help but gasped. It's so fast. They didn't even notice when Sasuke got sealed. Quick. Too fast. How could a kid have such strength? Is this what Tsunade left on purpose? Hateful. Although this was not expected to happen, but the task still has to go on. There is no communication and exchange of any kind. The ninja at the root still kept a strange silence. Suddenly the two root ninjas closest to Sasuke shot, and the kunai in their hands moved towards Sasuke's neck at the same time. Two black arcs flashed across the air. When. At the same time, they were blocked by the Sasuke grass pheasant sword, and the moment the two weapons were blocked. Sasuke one-handed not mudra. Water style, water dragon bomb technique. Boom. The suddenly charged water dragons circled out and bombarded towards the center of the crowd. Shock. Shizune. One-handed mudra. Using water style instantly in a place without water, this kid. So strong. Konoha Shinobi. This Anbu kid is probably not weaker than elite Jonin. When did Konoha have such a ninja? Fire style. Great fireball technique. ×3. At the same moment, among the root ninja troops, 3 fire style ninjas jumped out, and instantly released fire style to jointly resist Sasuke's water style. The moment the turbulent flames collided with the water, an astonishing roar erupted. The white mist spread rapidly. This is what Sasuke wanted. Gently hold the grass pheasant sword tightly. The killing begins. Swish, instant body. Take away the 2 people in front of you with 1 knife. Immediately afterwards, Sasuke disappeared directly, and the terrifying speed broke out, shuttling through the fog. One-handed seal, displayed with the minimum limit. The web of hearts. Sensing the position of these root ninjas with the web of heart, Sasuke turned into a strange ghost in an instant, and shuttled quickly in the garden atmosphere. In just a few seconds, more than a dozen people had already been killed. The sound of the blade separating the flesh and blood can be clearly heard by everyone at this moment of incomparable silence. Root ninjas feel bad. Wind style, hair blowing. The strong wind blows away the white mist, and Sasuke has come to the crowd without knowing when. Holding the grass pheasant sword in one hand, and standing in the crowd with seals in the other hand. There are already dozens of corpses around. The root ninja's complexion instantly turned pale. This kid has amazing strength. How to kill so many people so quickly? Earth style, earth wall, ×6. The root ninja uses earth style at the same time. Although this move is a defensive type of move, it can be used when there are many people. It can also be used as a move to trap enemies. Sasuke is trapped by the earth wall that rises suddenly. Without any communication, these root ninjas are already on their way. A large group of ninjas jumped up, took out the kunai with the detonating talisman in their hands, and prepared to throw it towards the earth wall. But at this moment, there was a more intense sound of running water. Water style, water severing wave, bang bang. The roar sounded, and the terrifying water blade instantly penetrated earth style's defense. Even the ninja who cast earth style was cut in half. The earth wall collapsed with a roar, and the detonating talisman was thrown towards Sasuke. At this moment Sasuke looked at the detonators attacking around him. Even at the fastest speed, Sasuke directly casts water-style water barrier. But there are still a few Kuwu-luo come in. The roar of the explosion sounded. Konoha shinobi who are still amazed that water-style can cut through earth-style, their hearts suddenly tighten. The flames ignited by the explosion rushed to Kong Chen, who was more than 10 meters away. Feeling the spreading air shockwave, such an explosion. It made Konoha shinobi fans look worried. That kid, is it alright? If an explosion of this magnitude is hit, I'm afraid. The situation is not good. Spoon. The flames of the explosion slowly dissipated. All eyes were fixed on the place where the explosion occurred. Although the ninjas at the root were killed and injured a lot. But now this difficult brat has finally been dealt with. The explosion just now should have killed him. When the smoke cleared, Sasuke's figure appeared. However, as soon as it appeared, Shizune couldn't help but cover his mouth. It was impossible to be fine under such an explosion. Sasuke's body was torn to pieces of flesh and blood, even revealing the white bones inside. It looked terribly lying on the ground, and the whole person had completely become a Kurozumi. Seeing this, the root ninjas around him also breathed a sigh of relief. Sasuke's fighting power will be very troublesome if it is not resolved as soon as possible. Fine. This guy rushed in without authorization and was besieged by them. Maybe he didn't know how amazing the tacit cooperation of root ninjas was. 650. Otherwise dare not rush in rashly. HMPH. Arrogant guy, looking for death. At this time, the root ninjas around said a word in a dazed manner. But after speaking, the eyes of these guys refocused on Shizune. However, now that the pressure is back on Shizune and others, these Konoha shinobi players suddenly feel the pressure doubled. Cold sweat began to break out on each forehead. At this moment, Tsunade, who poked his head out from behind the curtain, also looked at Sasuke, who fell to the ground. Suddenly the whole person froze. Sasuke, Mr. died. Another important person died before her eyes. However, she couldn't do anything, either because she was afraid, or because she couldn't fight the king. Sasuke won't either. Thinking of this, Tsunade sank to the ground in a daze. Stared blankly at Sasuke through the gap. At the moment when Tsunade's heart was about to completely collapse. So much so, the root ninjas who were about to attack turned their heads when they heard the movement behind them. Sasuke, who should have died, stood up slowly. He took off his mask on another corpse and put it on his face. His mask had been destroyed by the explosion. If it weren't for becoming Kurozumi, it is estimated that Sasuke's identity has been exposed. Ow. The smashing cooperation of you is quite tacit. I got caught by accident, Sasuke said with a sneer. But if you can use lightning style and fire style, the explosion just now can't hurt Sasuke. But it doesn't matter if you get hurt. The root ninjas around were stunned. Why a person who should die suddenly stood up? Could it be that he was so wounded that he didn't die? A large piece of flesh fell off from the stomach, but it's still not dead? What kind of physique is this? Sage transformation, on. For a moment an invisible storm gathers towards Sasuke. Strange energy fluctuations surged in Sasuke's body. In an instant, Sasuke's aura began to change a little. The surrounding root ninjas are now puzzled, very puzzled. I don't understand why Sasuke is still able to stand up, and what is going on with this weird chakra fluctuation. Even Shizune was dumbfounded. With her medical ninjutsu level, Sasuke's injury just now was already fatal. But how could Sasuke still stand up? Thinking about it. Next second, Sasuke got up from the ground, and the wound on his body began to emit white smoke. Hiss. Suddenly, flesh and blood grew out of thin air, and Sasuke's wound began to heal quickly, and even new flesh and blood grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. Tsunade, who saw this scene at this moment, was suddenly startled. This is grandfather's Muji cure. Sasuke launches Sage Transformation Chakra Surge, and at the same time, the filling chakra makes Sasuke's Muji healing effect even more terrifying. According to this speed, it takes about a minute or so for Sasuke to return to its original state. Although the effect is still different from that of Hashirama. But in the future, increase the level of Muji healing and strengthen the power of wood style. Sooner or later Hashirama will be surpassed, but enough for now. Sasuke looked up at these rooted ninjas. It seems to use ordinary techniques. It's hard to deal with you guys. Then it seems that I have to be serious. Grin. Only half of the face mask, allowing Sasuke's smile to show. Seeing Sasuke's smile, all the surrounding root ninjas felt a chill on their necks. In the next second, Sasuke suddenly opened his eyes, and the veins on his face popped out. His hands slammed on the ground. The eruption of wood-style chakra instantly attracted all kinds of plants in the land. The inflated wood-style vines burst out suddenly, breaking through the ground like black snakes rolling. Sweeping quickly, the speed at which these wood-style vines diffuse increases with each breath. When seeing the appearance of wood-style, both Shizune and others in the ninjas at the root were stunned. Wood-style. How? How is it possible? When the root ninjas were surprised, many of them were already entangled by wood-style, and they were caught instantly. Wood-style entangled these root ninjas and began to slowly absorb the chakra on each other. Restrict their movement. A dozen breaths followed. The wood-style covering the entire camp will completely destroy the camp. But the ninjas at the same root, and nearly one half of the ninjas, were directly solved by this move. Although he didn't die, he was caught by wood-style. At the same time, chakra was slowly absorbed, basically unable to break free immediately. It will only become more and more impossible to break free later. As this Shodai's wood-style, Tsunade, who was in the tent, also rushed out. He looked at Sasuke in astonishment. She watched Sasuke's figure through the gap of wood-style. How is it possible? Uchiha Sasuke. Why would he have his grandfather's wood-style? However, Tsunade didn't seem to notice at this time. Now her body is no longer trembling, and she is no longer afraid of stepping into the battlefield. Boom boom boom. The root ninjas who avoided the wood-style attack, then ninjutsu blasted away the wood-style vines that swept around them. Sasuke gasped. I haven't learned the world tree descending, but simply urge the wood-style chakra to control the wood-style vine man. Although it is also feasible, this method consumes too much chakra. At the same time, it is not as strong as the secret technique. Looks like I need to find time to master this wood-style ninjutsu. Wood-style. How can you know wood-style? It's still such a powerful wood-style. Who are you? Who are you? Now even the silent root ninja couldn't keep calm. However, Sasuke didn't want to answer them anymore. End it. Sasuke raised his hand and closed his eyes to actively condense the magic chakra. In an instant, it opened its mouth to siphon like a giant whale in the sea, frantically absorbing the natural energy around it. In an instant, a terrifying storm formed around Sasuke. Hush! Wood-style Fujimen gathered around. Under the gaze of countless pairs of eyes, they quickly gathered into a huge wooden dragon. The ferocious dragon head appeared first, followed by a body like a giant snake. Sasuke stood in place, and after the wooden dragon appeared, the huge body surrounded Sasuke and entrenched together. Guard Sasuke in it. Wooden dragon appears. With eyes emitting red light, he stared at the group of rooted ninjas in front of him. For a while, even the elite of these roots were completely absent-minded. They looked at the wood style around them, and then at the huge wooden dragon in front of them. I was a little overwhelmed for a while. Wood style. Really wood style. This is Lord First Hokage's dislike. Why does this brat use Master First Hokage's technique? The ninja at the root couldn't help but exclaim now. Is he also wood style's experimental subject? Impossible. If there is such an experimental subject, it should be in the hands of Lord Danzo. Who is this brat? It cannot be wood style's experimental body, but it has the power of wood style. Then Sasuke's identity becomes more and more frightening. Could it be a member of the Senju clan? And also succeeded in inheriting Mr. First Hokage's wood style. Not to mention these root ninjas, now even Tsunade doesn't understand how Sasuke got the power of wood style. Maybe also use first-generation cell transplantation, but the problem is that it has never appeared, like Sasuke can not only successfully fuse a transplant who can also perform first-generation ninjutsu. No. Sasuke can't learn his grandfather's ninjutsu just by transplanting cells. Suddenly Tsunade thought of a possibility. This kind of possibility may be a fantasy, but if it is put on Sasuke, this monster, it may be really possible. Sasuke now has fire style, lightning style, water style, earth style. Chakra of the 4 attributes. At this age, he can master 4 types of chakra's nature transformation, which is probably one of the few in the entire ninja world. It is one thing to have chakra with multiple attributes, but it is another thing to be able to master the corresponding nature transformation. Even if they are ninjas with all chakra attributes, they may not be able to master every nature transformation. Generally, only Jonin will try to learn the second nature transformation of chakra. And Sasuke has mastered the nature transformation of 4 attributes at this age, which is enough to prove the talent of evildoers. However, think of chakra with 2 attributes of Sasuke water style and earth style. Perhaps this kid. Couldn't it be chakra who tried to integrate the 2 attributes of water and earth, so as to develop the wood style's blood succession limit? The idea popped up in Tsunade's mind, although it was absurd. But she didn't know why, and felt that this guess might be true. Quack quack, the wooden dragon started to move. With a wave of Sasuke's hand, he pronounced the death sentence on the root ninjas in front of him. The last 100 root ninjas looked at the wooden dragon in the air. Now they have even forgotten to escape. First generation. This is the power of first generation to calm the troubled times. It's no use running away. If you can't escape, you can't escape. The wooden dragon with its huge mouth opened rushed towards these root ninjas and suddenly lifted into the air. The long body rises suddenly like a giant pillar. But then quickly swooped down. Although the speed is wood style, it is like a green lightning. Boom. Buzz buzz. The wooden dragon's impact erupted, and the terrifying shockwave spread rapidly towards the surroundings. The impact of the air made Shizune and others guarding Tsunade take 5 or 6 steps back before slowly stabilizing their figures. Wait until the dust and smoke sweep through. Shizune and the others raised their heads and looked ahead. A huge deep pit appeared not far away, and at the same time stretched towards the distance for a distance of nearly 30 meters, directly reaching the gate of the camp. Only then slowly disappeared, and in the forest created by Sasuke with wood style. There was also a rustling sound. In a blink of an eye, the wooden dragon emerged from the forest, still intact. Under that terrifying impact, the wooden dragon was completely fine. The hardness of wood style is also unbelievable. Is this the power of Shodai to calm troubled times? Very scary. Is this kid from the Senju clan? Speaking of this, the dozen or so Konoha shinobi under him turned their heads to look at Tsunade. Master Hokage, is this lord from the Senju clan? When Shodai disbanded the Senju clan, did some clansmen still continue the bloodline of the Senju clan? Being asked these questions out of the blue, Tsunade didn't know how to answer for a moment. The disbandment of the Senju clan is to better integrate into the trapped leaves. Otherwise, the proud Senju family, like the Uchiha family, has a strong bloodline, which is completely looked down upon by ordinary families and ordinary people. Not conducive to the development of leaves. That's why first generation will forcibly disband the Senju family. Part of it was integrated into Konoha, and the other part spread to the entire ninja world. Coupled with several ninja world wars, the last part of the tribe who retained the Senju surname also disappeared. Tsunade doesn't know if there are any members of the Senju clan who are still continuing the bloodline of the Senju clan. But whether there is or not, the Sasuke in front of him cannot be a member of the Senju clan. After thinking about it, Tsunade looked at Sasuke, who was raising his hand to caress the wooden dragon. I don't know if there is anyone who continues the Senju family, but this kid is mine. Although Tsunade's answer is a bit confusing for others. But what Master Hokage expressed was very simple, she absolutely trusted the other party. That's enough. Wood style reappears in Konoha. Great. This way our Konoha village will be able to return to the heyday of the first generation. That's right. With wood style, from now on there will still be that ninja village who dares to challenge us Konoha. The power of wood style seems to have been deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. But there is still a big difference. The most powerful is Hashirama, although wood style is also very strong, but because of the existence of Hashirama, the troubled road has the power to calm the troubled times. It's not that with wood style, troubled times can be pacified. Otherwise, isn't Yamato the second Hashirama? Hearing these people's words, Tsunade suddenly felt a little headache. How can I explain myself after the war is over? At that time Sasuke will be leaving. Leave Sasuke? Master Tsunade. Suddenly Sasuke's voice sounded. Tsunade, who was suffering from a headache, raised his head and thought about Sasuke. At this moment, Sasuke had already jumped onto the wooden dragon's head. This wave of attacks should be Danzo's last Jedi counterattack. It seems that he is at the end of his rope. It's time for me to find him too, Danzo? This kid is going to find Danzo. Shizune glanced at Tsunade, not knowing exactly what Tsunade-sama was planning. Logically, shouldn't Danzo be handed over to Tsunade-sama to deal with it himself? After all, Danzo's strength is also at the level of a cage-level ninja. Let the Senju kid in front of you go, although his strength seems to be very strong. But it can never be reassuring. Danzo's news hasn't come yet. You can wait a moment. After I confirm Danzo's location, you can. Before Tsunade finished speaking, Sasuke interrupted her. Don't worry. Master Tsunade, I have ninjutsu to explore the entire battlefield. Finding Danzo is not a problem. Furthermore, Danzo's last strong attack failed. Now it's the end of the mountain, and it is estimated that he will run away in a short time, so we can just let him go. Said Sasuke controlled the wooden dragon and turned around to leave. At this time, other Konoha shinobi participants panicked. Master Hokage, no, this person has inherited Shodai's wood style, so there must be no accidents. We can send more people to find Danzo, but there is no need to risk such a talent who may bring us back to our prime. While these people are right, Sasuke is gone. Boom. The wooden dragon swings its huge body and moves very sensitively. In the blink of an eye, it rushed out of the forest and quickly swept towards the distance. Tsunade looked at the back of Sasuke going away. Suddenly gritted his teeth fiercely, "Little brat. You must give me a hard beat, Danzo." Hear Tsunade's voice behind him. Sasuke smiled. What a grievance against Danzo. It is good. When Sasuke's figure quickly disappeared after he finished speaking, the system's prompt sound also appeared at the same time. Congratulations to host for successfully defeating the root ninja who raided. Reward. All fire style ninjutsu has been upgraded to ultimate control. Fire style. Great fireball technique. Grandmaster right pointing arrow ultimate fire dragon blast flame technique. Xiaocheng right pointing arrow ultimate. Fengxian fire technique. Grandmaster right pointing arrow ultimate. Great fireball technique. Skilled right pointing arrow ultimate. Great fire extinguishment. Skilled right pointing arrow ultimate. Great fire extinguishing. Grandmaster right pointing arrow ultimate. Instantly, Sasuke felt dizzy. Covering his head while controlling his body, he could not fall off the wooden dragon. Feel the variety of fire style ninjutsu elevated to ultimate mastery. Sasuke's eyes lit up. Fire style controlled by ultimate. This power. I'm afraid it has surpassed Madara's level when he fought against the United Ninja Army. Now Sasuke can say that the power of the fire styles he controls can no longer be judged simply by the level of ninjutsu. Even the lowest level fire style ninjutsu can explode with earth-shattering power in the hands of Sasuke. As long as Sasuke wants, as long as there are enough chakra, even if it is just a simple C-level ninjutsu. Sasuke is also confident that he can destroy a village with fire style. This is ultimate. The ultimate control of ninjutsu makes the power of ninjutsu not only limited to the level of ninjutsu. However, the system's beep is not over yet. Kill the root leader Danzo. End the war completely and eliminate hidden dangers. Reward. Yin Dun Chakra, including Yin Dun Chakra nature transformation. Yin escape. How to say this escapism? It is not within the scope of Sasuke's thinking. Because in the original book, there is no detailed description of Yin Yang Dun itself. What is the specific effect? It can be summed up in 4 words, and something is created out of nothing. And Yang Dun is for injecting life. But although I don't quite understand it, it doesn't prevent Sasuke from being interested. Yin Dun. As a reward. Very good. I really want to see what kind of changes will happen if Yin Dun is integrated into various ninjutsu. At the same time, Yin Dun focuses on spiritual power, so obtaining the power of Yin Dun should help Sasuke's Sharingan. Thinking of this, Sasuke's fighting spirit became even stronger. Danzo. As expected. You still have to die. For my Yin escape. Saying that, Sasuke urged the wooden dragon, and the speed increased by 3 points. At the same time, Sasuke performed a mudra with one hand. Begin to condense the chakra in the body. Actively condensing the fairy art chakra, coupled with Sasuke's fairy body, the speed of condensing chakra is very amazing. In just a few breaths, Sasuke condensed an astonishing amount of chakra. Okay. Now let's see how the battle is going and where you're hiding, Danzo. Both hands seal mudra at the same time. It is not difficult for Sasuke to find out the position of Danzo. It's just that there is a little noise. Lightning style, endless lightning pool. Bang bang. An astonishing thunderbolt suddenly fell from the sky. Immediately afterwards, terrifying roars sounded continuously, and a series of thunder and lightning crazily gathered around Sasuke. Standing on the battlefield are Konoha shinobi and root ninjas who are fighting fiercely. Suddenly raised his head and looked behind Konoha. That astonishing thunder and lightning seemed to split the sky into 2. It was split into 2 halves abruptly. In an instant, both sides stopped fighting. Immediately afterwards, the roaring thunder and lightning sounded, echoing wildly on the battlefield. Sasuke gathers thunder and lightning. Tens of seconds later, the wooden dragon rushed towards the battlefield. Before finally passing through a forest and setting foot on the battlefield, Sasuke opened his eyes suddenly. Mangekyo Sharingan opened. Strengthened the control over thunder and lightning. Lightning style, network of hearts, boom. The lightning that condensed in an instant spread rapidly. It turned into a huge thunder net, spreading rapidly towards the surroundings. After stretching for a distance of 100 meters, the thunder net disappeared without a trace, and it was not easy to be noticed. With a breath of air, Sasuke let his lightning spread almost to cover the entire battlefield. At the same time, the so-called Tiantian village not far behind the battlefield was completely covered. Feel the situation of the whole battlefield. Sasuke couldn't help but smile. It's one-sided. Danzo, your ninja army is too vulnerable. Gone. Tens of thousands of ninja troops have been completely defeated. Strictly speaking, they surrendered without any intention of resisting. Only thousands of root ninja troops are left, which are resisting tenaciously. Seeing this, Sasuke smiled. Just right, try my fire-style power. Boom boom boom. Countless trees in the forest collapsed. Sasuke, who stepped on the wooden dragon, suddenly appeared on the battlefield directly. Countless Konoha shinobi warriors looked in this direction, looking at the huge wooden dragon that suddenly appeared. All were dumbfounded for a moment. This is the wooden dragon that rushed into the battlefield moved forward rapidly. It is very difficult for that huge body not to attract attention. Countless Konoha shinobi watched the huge wooden dragon. There was a huge wave in their hearts. When I first saw the wooden dragon, I was just surprised by its size. But when you take a closer look at it for the second time, you feel even more incredible. This turned out to be wood style. Who the hell would use wood style? And some Konoha shinobi who knew more couldn't help exclaiming. First generation. My lord's wood style. Wooden dragon technique. I just heard about this ninjutsu from my grandfather. Is this what it is? No mistake, that should be the wood style wooden dragon technique. A wooden dragon formed with wood style vines. Sasuke crossed his arms and stomped on the wooden dragon, passing over the heads of countless Konoha shinobi warriors. At this moment, people all over the battlefield raised their heads to look at the huge black shadow above their heads. Kakashi looked at the figure above the wooden dragon. That figure. Why does it feel so familiar? Asuma on the side was a little excited. Wood dragon. Wood dragon technique. This is wood style. Who still uses wood style? Konoha's jonin, such as Yurihong and Mitarashi Anko, also showed surprised expressions. Yamanaka's eyes widened even more. What a terrifying chakra fluctuation. The amount of chakra required for this technique is simply beyond what ordinary people can bear. Yamanaka, who has the ability to sense, can clearly feel the chakra flowing in the wood dragon's body. At the same time, what a huge amount of chakra needs to be consumed every minute and every second. Such ninjutsu is simply not something that ordinary people can perform. Even a ninja at the jonin level will be sucked dry by the wooden dragon in an instant. However, Sasuke didn't know how conspicuous he was at this moment. At the same time, it does not consider whether it will be recognized. Anyway, he was wearing a mask, so he couldn't recognize him for a while, and now Sasuke's attention was all on the front not far away. Danzo's last resistance. More than 3,000 root ninja troops. The Web of Hearts has pinpointed Danzo's location, and now Sasuke just needs to catch up to Danzo. But before that, Sasuke still couldn't help but wanted to try the power of ultimate fire style. Raise your hand and seal directly. When the wooden dragon brought Sasuke to a distance of 20 meters from these root ninjas. Sasuke inhaled wildly suddenly. One mouthful, as if swallowing all the surrounding air. It even seems that because the inhalation is too fast, the surrounding airflow has changed to a certain extent. Fire style. Dragon blast technique. The power of this ninjutsu has been strengthened by the system, and now it has been upgraded to the ultimate control level. The power is even more terrifying. In an instant, the chakra in Sasuke's body was consumed almost instantly. If it weren't for the fact that Sage Transformation absorbs natural energy in an instant and maintains Sasuke's Sage Mode, the wooden dragon under his feet would probably fall apart on the spot. And the chakra accumulated in Sasuke's 10 seconds is all transformed into the moment when the fire attribute chakra bursts out. With the blessing of Shienju chakra, the power of ninjutsu will be strengthened to a certain extent. Plus ultimate control. Boom. The moment a flame burst out. The terrifying red light erupted, lighting up the entire battlefield as if in an instant. The dazzling red light made many Konoha shinobi players couldn't help raising their hands to block the strong light. At the same time, in the red light, the flame is rolling and erupting. The instant it spewed out, it formed a ferocious fire dragon, with long fangs and 5 claws, making an astonishing roar. The sound of flame explosions converged, as if forming the roar of a fire dragon. In an instant, a fire dragon bigger than the wooden dragon appeared, and swept towards the root ninja troops. When seeing the light, these root ninjas were stunned. Because the flames had already hit their faces. It is too late to defend with ninjutsu. Boom boom boom. Flames raged past. The shape of the fire dragon also disappeared in a blink of an eye, leaving a sea of flames on the ground. 3,000 root ninja troops disappear. Huge wooden dragons shuttled through the flames. The violent flame was burning and shaking. The back view of Sasuke standing on the wooden dragon's head with his arms folded. This moment is firmly imprinted in the minds of countless Konoha shinobi practitioners. Wait until the roar gradually subsides. The light of the flames gradually recedes. The figure of the wooden dragon also disappeared. At this time, the Konoha shinobi fighters on the battlefield reacted belatedly. Just now, what a terrifying scene they witnessed with their own eyes. Thousands of ninjas. One hit and die. What a terrible fire style. As that person. Is our Konoha ninja? Wearing Anbu's clothes, with the Konoha logo, but it seems to be wearing a root mask. It should be our ninja. Otherwise, why would you attack the ninja at the root? He knows wood style? When did Konoha have such a ninja? Countless questions popped up instantly. Even Kakashi's mind is blank right now. Destroy 3,000 ninjas with one fire style. The power of that fire style ninjutsu overwhelmed him. But at the same time, Kakashi felt that this fire style was very familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere before. But thinking about it, he felt that it was impossible for him to see such a powerful fire style. It's unbelievable how far a person has cultivated fire style to be able to burst out such a powerful flame. This is probably even more amazing than the power of S-ranked ninjutsu. Asuma on the side spoke. Also, as a ninja who practiced fire style, he knew very well that if he wanted to achieve that level, it was not a matter of how much chakra he had. If the attainment of fire style is not high, no matter how much chakra can burst out this kind of power. Who is that man? Anbu's ninja. Since when did Anbu have such a monster? Maybe Lord Tsunade knows the answer. This guy is coming from the direction of the camp. The root ninja, which would have taken a little longer, was now completely wiped out by the opponent with one blow. Kakashi and the others didn't even see what the other person looked like. The other party only left behind a figure standing on top of the wooden dragon spouting flames. Who is the man above the wooden dragon? Although I didn't see what the other party looked like. But this war, because of a person who suddenly appeared, and a wooden dragon that made it impossible for countless Konoha shinobi followers not to be surprised, will be remembered forever and ever. And the figure of Sasuke will also be firmly imprinted in the minds of these Konoha ninjas. At this moment, Sasuke, who crossed the battlefield, was stepping on the wooden dragon, and rushed towards Danzo. After basically leaving the battlefield, Sasuke directly lifted the wooden dragon. Because the wooden dragon's speed was still too slow. To cast the heart net before, you need to let the wooden dragon move forward instead of yourself. But now, Sasuke has confirmed the location, and it is faster to use lightning style to hurry. The moment the wooden dragon transforms into the wood style Vineman and dissipates. A thunderbolt emerged. Sage mode remains on. The raging thunder and lightning was terrifying. Lightning style, extreme speed, flash, crackling. In a split second, sparks led to lightning, and Sasuke disappeared into the forest with a flash of thunder. Go straight in the direction of Yanyan village. The speed of lightning is many times faster than the speed of the wooden dragon. Along the way, from time to time, I will encounter some ninjas under Danzo's command, or ninjas from the roots. But they are basically fleeing crazily now. No one cared whether they saw a lightning bolt passing by just now. At this moment, Danzo, who came outside Yanyan village, took a last look at the ninja village that had just been established, and it hadn't even been fully completed yet. I didn't expect the old man to be forced to this point in the end. Tsunade. Remember to the old man will never give up, next time. Old man Hokage of Konoha will definitely sit on it steadily, you'd better guard Konoha for the old man. Otherwise. Humph. Danzo snorted coldly and turned his head to look in the direction of the land of water. Now the land of water is the right place for him to escape. Kirigakure is not yet fully developed, even if Tsunade wants to chase her, he will not rush to send ninjas into the land of water. Otherwise, if Kirigakure is provoked, then a ninja war will easily break out. Danzo took the last two route henchmen and headed towards the land of water. And the fastest route is to cross the wave country bridge, pass through the wave country, and then take a boat to the water country. This route is fast and safe. By the time Konoha finished cleaning up the battlefield, he might have boarded a boat and headed to the land of water. Before standing under the oppression of Hiruzen, he has been hiding under the leaves as a mouse, but he didn't expect that Hiruzen is gone now. He, Danzo, is still hiding like a mouse, hateful. Running all the way, Danzo was also worried that Tsunade would lead someone to catch up. If you catch up, you don't have much confidence against Tsunade Danzo. That woman is a person who inherits the blood of the first generation. Even if he could kill Tsunade, Danzo didn't know if he should do it. At the same time, Tsunade as Sanin really made him extremely afraid. After driving all the way, we finally came to the wave country bridge. And after arriving here, Danzo finally breathed a sigh of relief. But running wildly all the way, it's a pity that his two confidants still couldn't keep up. Danzo glanced back in the direction of the Fire Nation. The land of fire. I will definitely come back again. While Danzo was talking, crack! A bolt of lightning suddenly appeared directly in front of him. Thunder and lightning splashed wildly, and it was impossible to see who it was. But this shape looks like thunder and lightning. Danzo's eyes narrowed slightly, could it be? Finally caught up with you, Danzo. When the voice sounded, Danzo's eyes narrowed slightly. Uchiha. Sasuke. As for Sasuke's voice, Danzo naturally won't forget too soon. And when the thunder receded, Sasuke's figure slowly appeared in Danzo's eyes. Wearing Anbu clothes and wearing a root mask, Sasuke, who has already taken off the mask, is walking towards him slowly. Look at Danzo alone. Sasuke frowned suspiciously. Obviously there are 3 breaths, why is this guy the only one left? But that doesn't matter, what matters is that Danzo is here. Uchiha Sasuke, as Konoha's rebellious ninja, why are you chasing after me? Hearing this, Sasuke smiled. Don't you know why I'm chasing you? Danzo didn't answer, just looked at Sasuke with a cold face. This old man has nothing to do with you, right? If you venture into the land of fire and encounter Konoha shinobi at any time, you should also look for this old man. It seems that you either want to kill me, or you want to save me. Sasuke is now under Orochimaru, and Danzo feels that it may be possible that Sasuke was sent by Orochi to save himself. If you team up with Orochimaru, it seems to be a good idea to target Konoha together. Save you? Do you think I will save a guy who killed all my people? Hearing this, Danzo's face changed slightly. Did Orochimaru tell you? No matter how I know, I came to you with only one purpose. Kill you. Sasuke, who is full of murderous looks, now seems to have a black aura on his face. Looking at the murderous Sasuke, Danzo smiled coldly. Ridiculous. Just because of you, you want to kill me? Just a kid from the Uchiha clan. I can kill all of your clan, and I can kill them too. I shouldn't have left you, a brat, in the first place. I thought you would stay in Konoha, but in the end you defected. Sure enough, the Uchiha clan is all one virtue. This old man will kill you in the name of Hokage today, completely igniting the Uchiha clan. In the name of Hokage? This guy is old and confused. A Hokage turned into a stray dog? Forget it. It's useless to say more. Pulling out the grass pheasant sword with his backhand, lightning style erupted. The majestic chakra in Sasuke's body is boiling crazily like boiling water. Then let's see, Master Hokage. How much strength is there? As an old antique who survived World War II, I hope you are not old enough to impress the people. Danzo also took out Kurenai directly, and was wary of Sasuke. Although Sasuke is young, in terms of talent, even Danzo has to admit that this kid is simply a monster. Looking at the grass pheasant sword in Sasuke's hand, a terrifying thunder burst out. This level of lightning does not want to be the power that ordinary lightning style can have. This Uchiha boy, what the hell is going on? While he was thinking, Sasuke slowly took off his mask. Looking at Sasuke's face that turned dark black. At the same time, on the bank beside the Nami Country Bridge, a figure sat on a tree trunk, looking at the two people on the bridge. Wow. This breath, is it the magic chakra, Sage Mode? Fantastic kid, someone who has mastered Sage Mode at this age. After the figure finished speaking, a head popped out of a tree beside him. It's really amazing. The terrifying chakra wave is just like a human-shaped tailed beast. Yes. His chakra is so powerful. It seems to be related to his special constitution, as if he is automatically absorbing the natural energy zone. Automatic absorption. Hearing this, the figure sitting on the tree trunk had some changes in the eyes under the mask. This means that Sasuke has almost endless chakra. 12 years old is so scary, you deserve to be a Uchiha person. Crackling, zzz. Suddenly, an even more astonishing thunder erupted. The thunder and lightning raging from the Kusanagi sword in Sasuke's hand even seemed to turn into a raging fire formed by lightning in an instant, blocking most of the Nami Country Bridge. The thunder and lightning frantically ran on the ground, printing black lines one after another. Lightning style, discharge. The power of the lightning style discharge controlled by Ultimate also makes Sasuke feel incredible. The chakra output crazy, lightning style, which was originally quite powerful, has become a bit too strong. Noticing Sasuke's lightning style, Danzo also had cold sweat on his forehead. What lightning style is this? How could this kid have such a powerful lightning style? Even if the lightning style chakra nature transformation is cultivated to the limit, it is impossible to have such power. Danzo thought to himself. In the next second, Sasuke suddenly took a step. Flash. The speed at which the suddenly opened lightning burst out is absolutely terrifying. Moment. Terrible speed, accompanied by roaring thunder. Sasuke appeared directly beside Danzo like lightning. The thunder and lightning gathered on the grass pheasant sword directly burst out with a crackling sound, and slashed fiercely at Danzo head-on. Danzo's eyes narrowed suddenly. Tear. With one blow, Sasuke cut Danzo in half with a single blow, following the trail of thunder and lightning behind him. This speed, coupled with this powerful attack. At this moment, even the people watching the battle were stunned. This Uchiha Sasuke is insanely strong, but Danzo is not so easy to kill. Talking. Suddenly Sasuke felt a slight change in the surrounding scene. Then Danzo's breath appeared. Sasuke suddenly turned around, and Danzo, who was standing not far away, gasped heavily. What a fast attack, that amazing speed, plus this terrifying lightning-style slash. How could this brat have such power? Danzo can't believe it now. This is a power that a 12-year-old kid can master. That just now is Izanagi? It is indeed a very powerful ability. A person like you is not worthy of using such an ability. The expressionless Sasuke spoke calmly. However, at this moment, he didn't know how much impact his plain words had on Danzo. This brat. How did he know about Izanagi? Danzo's complexion changed rapidly. However, he couldn't figure it out, and now he is even more afraid of Sasuke. But since he already knew it, he didn't need to hide it. He directly raised his hand and forked off the bandage on his right arm. And when the right hand appeared, he looked at the eyes on the left hand. Even though Sasuke never cared about other members of the Uchiha clan, when looking into these eyes, Sasuke seemed to be able to see their despair and anger before they died. The wrath of the Uchiha clan. Looks like you know a lot, that Orochimaru guy actually told you everything. It seems that he has not only regarded you as a container, but as a disciple? Sasuke's defection, the reason why Danzo didn't stop it at that time. It stands to reason that a person like him would never allow anyone who could threaten Konoha to exist. But he didn't care too much about Sasuke's defection, and even refrained from chasing Sasuke afterwards. Danzo knew from the beginning that Orochimaru was eyeing Sasuke. Sasuke's future destiny is to become Orochimaru's container. So Danzo doesn't care if Sasuke defected. It's just that Danzo was a little annoyed that he didn't retrieve the sealed book. HMPH. These have nothing to do with you. You should care more about yourself, how long you can live. Said Sasuke lightly raised the grass pheasant sword in his hand. You used Izanagi once just now, you still have 1,000 chances left. Then I only need to hit you 10 more times, and you will die. Talking about the grass pheasant sword in Sasuke's hand, the raging thunder and lightning became more violent. His eyes flickered slightly. The next second is the moment when the tip of the knife is aimed at Danzo's new chapter. Sasuke suddenly narrowed his eyes slightly. Chidori, sharp spear. Swish. In an instant, the lightning-style laser that extended suddenly pierced Danzo's heart fiercely. Danzo, however, avoided a fatal injury this time. With full energy, he successfully escaped the fatal blow. Although the arm is pierced, but harmless. A drop of cold sweat rolled down Danzo's forehead. This kid. Lightning style has been used to perfection. Congratulations to host for successfully mastering the new ninjutsu. Lightning style, Chidori sharp gun, beginner. This is a trick derived from Chidori, and it is very easy for Sasuke to comprehend. Not paying attention to the system's prompt, Sasuke continued to look at Danzo. Not bad. Dodged the blow just now. Then can you continue to hide? The thunder and lightning on Sasuke's body suddenly stirred with a smile. The flashy state broke out again. Seeing the lightning on Sasuke's body, Danzo's eyelids twitched wildly. Uchiha Sasuke is fully aware of Izanagi's effect. If Sasuke continues to control the attack rhythm, then he will be in trouble. Wind style, true empty waves, boom boom boom. Suddenly a terrifying storm erupted from Danzo's mouth, followed by a wave of wind-style slashing waves from Ridao. Sasuke, who originally planned to leave, sneered. With this level of ninjutsu attack, do you want to kill yourself? 1,000 birds flow. The lightning that exploded in an instant spread like a flower in the center. The number of lightning distributed around suddenly increased dozens of times. Almost formed a terrifying thunderbolt network. Boom boom boom. A series of wind blades collided with the thunder net, but there was no waves. Although wind style restrains lightning style, Sasuke can use ninjutsu now. Might can already directly ignore the restraint relationship. Using lightning style to defend, this technique surprised Danzo again. Why? Genius is always in Uchiha.